Want to know what the weather's really like in Austin, Texas? Join me now with the Night Group, your favorite Austin realtor. You know that saying that everything is bigger in Texas? Well, our weather and our storms are also bigger in Texas. And you probably hear about all the summer heat, but what you don't hear about is how awesome Austin is throughout 70% of the year. So in this video, we're gonna go through and we're gonna talk about the seasons, we're gonna talk about the cool weather and phenomenon that we see here, and then I'm gonna give you some awesome tips to stay cool in that summer heat. So here we go. All right, so to kick this off, let's talk about the seasons. I'm gonna save summer for last because I wanna give you those tips. So let's start with winter. Overall, winter is a short time frame that starts really kind of around Thanksgiving. In fact, even Thanksgiving shorts and flip-flop weather, and ends in kind of like late February. And while it doesn't get super cold, it can get in the 20s, and generally it's, it's quite mild. Like I said, shorts and flip-flop weather. So here's the crazy part about the winter season is that it'll be 70 degrees one day, it's beautiful outside, and then within 3 hours it's down to 20 degrees, it's freezing cold, sleet comes in, rain comes in, freezes over our bridges. Austin shuts the whole city down and you can't even go anywhere, which is probably a good thing because we're really not very good drivers in sleet, cold, rain. And yeah, it's probably safer that way. But the reality is we get this cold Arctic blast and these cold fronts that come through, and we'll have these high winds that just blow in all this crazy weather, and you're stuck in home for a couple days, and then all of a sudden it's warm again, like 70 degrees. So our weather bounces around like crazy in the wintertime. Really, it's not that bad. But hey, we do get snow in Austin. Yeah, it's like once every 3 years, and it's like 2 to 4 inches, and by the time you get your sled, it's actually melted and gone, and so we kind of don't get snow. Hey, but you don't have to shovel sunshine, right? One thing that you gotta note though in the winter is we will have 4 or 5 days of strung through where it is just kind of a gloomy, overcasty days, but then that warm Gulf air comes through, blows that out, and then leaves behind beautiful sunshine and, well, high winds from all the wind. Did I mention the winds? All right, so this leads us to spring. Spring is absolutely my favorite time of year. It usually is late February through May, and then that's when the heat comes. But it is really the best time of year, and really every Texan gets out and enjoys life. So the weather generally is really, one day it'll be 85, the next day in the 60s, so it fluctuates. Did I mention we have crazy storms? Very intense storms, and they'll bring a little bit of hail, some crazy lightning, and that's all the time. Nothing like being woken up at 2 in the morning to crazy thunderstorms coming through. A couple things to note in springtime is that it is our wetter season really in May, so we'll get a lot of rain. But the great part about it is that we have all the blue bonnets come out. Everybody takes all their blue bonnet photos, and around April, it's really beautiful, beautiful skies, puffy clouds, and really not too many overcasty, ugly days. Hey, and a great place to go enjoy all those beautiful flowers is the Wildflower Center in Circle C. It's a really beautiful place and they do an amazing job, so definitely go check that out. All right, so this brings us into the fall. Now, I know I just skipped the summer, but we're gonna give you those tips for summer at the end, so stay tuned, we're getting to the summer. So usually around this time frame is September, October, November, and we do see more rain during this time. The 2 times a year we see the most rain is gonna be in the May and October months, but it is a lot of warm weather. It's not cold yet. It can't figure out what it's gonna do. Like I said, you're gonna be walking around in shorts and flip-flops most of the time, just really enjoying fall. The average temperatures are in the 80s, so it's really not too bad. It's quite enjoyable. Just go hang out and enjoy your deck. All right, so this brings us into the summer, which you're wanting to hear about most, right? So I'm gonna sugarcoat it for you. It is hot and humid. Oh, I guess that wasn't sugarcoating it, was it? Yeah, it's hot and humid. And on top of that, we do get crazy powerful thunderstorms that come through more than the other times. And we do see kind of those tornado threat warnings. Now, we don't really get too many tornadoes in our area, but it does happen every now and then. There are warnings and they can happen. Most of the time they're pushed further north towards Dallas and that area called Oklahoma something. Hey! And one major thing we should know about these massive storms is that we do get a lot of rain all at once, and we do live in the hill country, which means that you will come to areas where there's a low water crossing. And it's really important that you turn around, don't drown. Do not go across running water because it is very possible you will get swept away. Don't do it. It's very important. But overall, the summer is still super hot from July to July into August. That it is 101 to 108 during the day, plus 89% humidity. It's pretty nasty. The great part is that it cools off at night down into the 90s and it's still humid. So yes, the summertime is quite hot. It does last for about 3.5 months. It can be quite unpleasant with the humidity being so high, but the reality is 70% of the year it is super nice. But again, you can't shovel sunshine, right? Okay. In the summertime, there are some great things and advantages to being in the Austin area to help beat that heat. Number one, we have Lone Star beer and ice. So there's that. Okay, but all jokes aside, the Hill Country offers a lot of great things, and that's why it's actually great to live in the summertime in Central Texas, because we have lots of lakes. People like to float the rivers, paddleboard, Lady Bird Lake. Everybody jumps in their boats and goes boating. Make sure you don't drink and boat. That's not a good thing, not a good mix. The other great thing is that we have lots of pools like Hamilton Pool, you have Barton Springs Pool, lots of great fresh areas. And if you live in an area with an HOA, you're gonna hopefully have a pool. And we're only about 3 hours of the beach. So there are beaches in Texas, and that's one thing that people kind of discount. They might not be the greatest beaches in the world, but they're good, and they are a good way to go cool off and enjoy a nice beverage on the beach where you're not drinking and driving. There you go, Jeremy Knight, the Night Group. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Do you enjoy this video? Did you get some information out of it you thought? Do you disagree? You agree? I don't know. Drop a comment. Thanks, subscribe, and watch these videos. Have an amazing day.